Yo, what's up? I'm Verskotzi, and I'm here on We Found New Music Radio, and my new EP, Manifest 22222, is out now, and this song I'm about to play is off of that, called Gatekeeper. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. How long must I wait before they open up those pearly gates? I've been chipping away at them a decade -2, like control entropy. You'll never see them on bended knee. It's gonna take a miracle to get their blessing too. Well, I've got to take it slow if I wanna keep from breaking. I've been here before. I ran circles to a broken door. Feed that machine, you might just get your morsel too. So farewell, say la vie. You're never ever gonna hear from me. I used all my options, yeah, they get to pick those two. Well, I've got to take it slow if I wanna keep from breaking. But no, we're always on the go. There's no other way to make it. Ooh, must I wait before they open up those pearly gates? I've been chipping away at them a decade -2. What's up? I'm Verskotzi, and this next song is also off my new EP, Manifest 22222. This one is called System. Leave it alone, just fester in your head, yeah. I've got it wrong like 100 trillion times. Go get some rest while they're working you to death. Take a loan for your bones and your soul. Got the whole nation on hold while they get all the time in the world. A poison in the well with some high-grade lead, singing you drink first. Down with the system that killed the age of disco. Agents and lawyers not picking up their phones. Yeah, the men in the Oval Pit and brother against sister. We won't, no, we won't be controlled. No, we won't, no, we won't be controlled. We'll get ahead once we double up our input. Sleep when you're dead and cash in on that insurance. Shut down the world, but keep raising the rent up. That bubble gum bout to burst. The blue man's got us in a chokehold, but call him at the end of the world.
Hey guys, Grant Owens here. We are joined by our friend Verskotzi, who just dropped his debut EP, Manifest 22222.
Yeah, 5 twos, yes.
5 twos, guys. That's right. You got that right?
Yes.
Cool. And it just dropped recently. You just played a couple tracks off of that. Would you mind reminding us which tracks you just played for us?
Yes, sir. I just did Gatekeeper and System.
Okay. Yep. 2 highlights off of the EP, which, I was really enjoying. You have quite a lot of range on this EP. I first got to know you accompanying some other artists, but then you put together one hell of a live show for us. I want to hit that right off the bat. If you ever get a chance to see Verskotzi live, don't miss it. Like, you have the full band up there, and it's a serious experience.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
And he brings all the homies out.
Yes.
We did that together last year, so thank you for doing that.
Thank you for having me.
Looking forward to your next show.
So much fun.
But the focus today, folks, is the new EP Manifest.
Yep.
5 twos. So tell us about releasing the EP.
Yep.
And the process kind of leading up to it. You're dropping singles and you're dropping it on Preach Music.
Yeah. So we did kind of the waterfall method last year with my distribution partner Preach Music, and we started dropping singles in June of last year, and then the full EP came out just at the end of the month in January.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it was a great process. It was kind of like every 4 or 5 weeks that we were putting stuff out, which we were doing them one at a time, and I was kind of finishing the songs in real time, which I recommend and I don't recommend that process because it can get a little down to the wire, but it also provided some like procrastination, like anxiety inspiration, if you will. And it was like I pretty much knew what the whole EP was going to be, but I was like literally finishing them in real time and then sending them in and getting them uploaded and having them come out. So it was quite a process. But
that's some serious self-focused and deadlines and a little stress.
Yeah. Always a steady drip of stress in the background, for sure.
Speaking of stress and stuff, you talk a lot about on socials about meditation and your sobriety and how meditation and quitting alcohol has affected your creative process. So please, if you wouldn't mind elaborating a little bit on that.
Yeah. So, it has meditating and cutting alcohol out has really, I like to say I'm getting back to my center is how I look at it, where I'm really exploring myself in a way without substances for the first time and really ever, and cutting out substances altogether has been a huge plus for grounding myself and really focusing on the process that I'm in. But as you know, this industry is very stressful, very anxiety inducing, and so being able to really clear my mind on a daily basis has been extremely beneficial for me. And it's also just I've always been a very focused and productive person, but it has like taken that to another notch that I didn't really think existed, but it's been just incredible for me to clear the mind properly.
A lot of growing for you.
A lot of growing, a lot of hard truths to see about yourself, but it's been well worth it, and I'm just a better version of myself for it, I think.
Yeah, you're being very honest with everyone as well.
Yeah.
And open with your audience, and I think people will probably appreciate that.
Yeah, people seem to really gravitate to it, and being vulnerable it's scary, right? It's in the word, it's vulnerable, but I think the more open we can be as artists about that kind of thing, the better overall.
It's a good time for that. People are open with mental awareness and all that.
Yep.
So shifting gears a little bit.
Yeah.
The one thing I really noticed as you were dropping songs is you have a lot of range musically. You're really venturing into different styles, eclectic for sure. You shifted recently into kind of a rather different sound than I was used to from you. You went more into the psych rock world as well.
Sure.
What are some of your biggest influences and leading into this shift in sound?
Yeah, so I feel for people that hadn't known me really before the last 5 years since I moved to LA, a lot of folks aren't as familiar with some of my older material, which is very much rooted in like 60s rock influences, and like within that it's like Zeppelin, the Beatles, Nick Drake, sort of like Echo in the Canyon style, like folk music as well.
I love those artists.
Jack White being a more like modern reference for it, but that's very much in my DNA, and I've kind of been drawing a line in the sand back to that sound for myself. And so I'm gearing up right now for more releases that are even more in kind of like the rock world. But I feel for myself as an artist, that truly is where like my voice really sits in an honest place, and I think comes across the right way. So yeah, it's been a journey.
Well, you definitely get to choose your direction because you do it all yourself.
Yeah.
and you're a writer, producer, mixer.
Yep.
You did the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
It's worth noting because that's
you.
not easy, and it's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
I guess I should assume that because you've been writing with all these other artists as well.
Sure. Yeah.
And so you're quite accomplished. So tell me about doing it yourself, and when it comes to the project, and what's the hardest part about doing it, the whole thing yourself?
Yeah. So I think obviously there's a lot of pros and cons. I think there's more pros overall to me doing it myself. But the cons really come in, I say, towards like the end, like 10% of songs, when I'm the only one that's been writing, producing, mixing it for, sometimes months on one specific song or an entire project, and my ears are just like burnt on it, and I'm kind of nose up against the wall with very little perspective on what needs to happen to finish it. But thankfully I have a great team of people around me that I really trust, and they give me great feedback. And so I've been able to find like workarounds, but there's definitely times where I'm like, I feel very lost in this giant maze all by myself. And that can be tough to get
important to get fresh ears on something that you've just been listening to for the last however many days.
Sometimes years,
And you're probably burnt out in general sometimes. Yes. And that is something to address with music, right?
Absolutely.
It's easily
it happens
to get a little burnt out here and there. But also the fact that you also write and produce for others as well.
Sure.
In addition to that, how do you balance being involved with other artist projects as well as being a producer of your own music?
So, great question. I think the thing about working with other artists that's so great is I get to flex all these different creative muscles as a producer, because I truly do, I love pop, I love trap and hip hop, I love R&B. I've even been able to work with some great country writers and artists, I love country, so I'm able to really explore all these different genres as a producer and not get bored with just, because sometimes working on one specific sound can kind of start to feel like you're hitting your head against a wall. But within that, then I get to explore all these different worlds with other artists, and I don't take it lightly either, because it's really an honor when an artist trusts me with their vision.
Sure.
They're coming to me vulnerable and saying, this is what I want to create, and then I have to help get that out of their head and then coming out of the speakers, right? And so that it's great to be able to do that. There's definitely times when it can be hard as specifically the producer in a lot of these sessions. The thing that's different for a producer, I think, in the kind of the speed dating writing scene that exists is every time a producer is done with a session, it's we have another song to finish now. Whereas if you're just writing, it's you can kind of get in and out of the session, whereas the producer has an entire track to finish, and that can be definitely difficult. And so I think the challenge in that is not spreading myself too thin, but I like saying yes to a lot of things.
Right, absolutely.
So that's where the balance lies, but I'm figuring it out.
Of course.
1 year at a time.
Well, we're running a little bit out of time here, but
totally.
To wrap up, again, the EP is Manifest 22222, and that is out now, but what can we expect for the remainder of 2023?
Yeah, there's a lot coming for 2023. Coming up I'm going to do an acoustic version of my song System, which I played here today. Yep. I'm going to be, actually I just found out today I'm going to South by Southwest this year I'm actually a writer in their official song camp.
That's amazing.
So I'm going to be doing that. And then I'm working on a new album right now. I was just in Nashville for 9 days, and I recorded 11 songs in 9 days. It was a marathon, but a sprint. And so I will be playing shows and putting out a new album this year.
Amazing. So much exciting stuff to come from Verskotzi, who just joined us on WFNM Music, and we look forward to the next year from you, Verskotzi.
Thank you for having me, Grant.